Good morning. You're listening to Big Dog Country, WIFO-FM in Jessup, 105.5 FM. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Van's Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.
Are you looking for an insurance company that you can call and talk to a live person? Are you looking for an insurance company where you can walk in and talk to an agent? Are you looking for an insurance company that offers multiple companies so they can try and get you the best rate? If you said yes to any of these, then you need to call or come by O'Quinn & Associates Insurance Financial Services. We offer multiple companies so we can find the best fit for you. Give us a call at 385-1000 or stop by our office at 212 South First Street right here in Jessup.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jessup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner special. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, right here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup. Well, Bob, I see you found your way to Columbus yesterday and back with no problems at all, right?
Yep. Long trip. I forgot how long that trip is.
That's a long trip.
Tough loss, but hopefully they can bounce back today. But,
I can't believe they have to wait till 7 o'clock tonight to play. I figured they'd be playing a doubleheader today.
But GHSA is ripping everybody off up there. $15 to park, $15 to get in the gate, one game each day. I mean, it's just a racket.
And you got to use GoFan to get in, right?
I don't know. We had to check to pay. We had to pay GHSA.
Well, we had to check before broadcast.
That lady was trying to charge me $15 to park. I said, lady, we got to check. You charge me to do the game. We ain't paying to park. Forget that. So that was about a 5.
So you're media. You ain't paying to park.
That's about a 5-minute argument, but I won that argument.
$15 to park. $15 to get into a game. Every single game, right?
Every game. I mean, you just think if you're a family, if you're a husband and wife and got a couple of kids, I mean, good Lord. You get a loan from the bank to go to that tournament.
And the thing about it is they spread it out over so long time. They just one game yesterday, one game today.
I thought it's about education. I thought, these girls are missing 4 days, missing school. It's absurd. It's a racket. GHSA's got to go.
It's always about the money.
Got to go. Talk to Chris Carr. He was here. I'm going to talk to Governor Day. They got to go. GHSA is got to be out.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get off of that soapbox for right now. we have a guest in the studio with us this morning. Bob, who do we have?
We got longtime incumbent County Commissioner James Booth. I keep saying on the news longtime incumbent because I can't remember how many years you've been there. You've been there quite a while on this board. How long have you been on the board? Yeah.
His hair wasn't gray when he first got elected.
Man, you've been on.
And I had hair.
You had hair. The hair on his face is gray, and the hair on his head's gone bye-bye.
That's true.
We don't talk about hair or weight. Those are two things we don't talk about, okay? Those topics are off limits here on the show.
So when did you get first elected there, James?
92.
92. I knew it was a long time. 92.
Yes.
30 years.
Yes.
My word.
A lot of times without opposition, but this time you got opposition. I got your flyer in the mail yesterday.
I was talking to my wife about this term. I said, I want to get these projects finished that I'm starting, the Senior Citizen Community Center and a couple other projects that I've got started. I wanted to see come to fruition. And I said, this is my last term. I'm going to, after this, some young fella need to take this because I want to continue to play with my grandkids. I want to spoil them and give them back to their mama.
That's what
That's my job.
That's what us grandparents do.
That's what we do.
That's our get them spoiled and just give them back.
Like I said, I got your flyer in the mail yesterday. I was reading it. I love this. I want you to explain this line to me. It says, in spite of the negative rhetoric and obstacles placed in the way by doubters, I want you to know that we're moving forward with the new Senior Citizen Community Center. So what do you mean by the negative rhetoric and obstacles? And the doubters. Who are the doubters?
And this concerns the Senior Citizen Center? Is that what you're talking about in your flyer?
Things,
okay,
yes,
another
things.
Okay.
Things. It's a group, that they, the negative rhetoric, the innuendos, or whatever the case may be. That's all they do, and you wouldn't believe what I had to go through to get that senior citizen to come to fruition. At one point, I don't know who it was, but somebody was trying to buy the property from under us so that we couldn't build a senior citizen building there.
Where's that at?
It's on Poplar Street.
Poplar Street,
yeah.
Okay, all right.
We couldn't build it on the Hall Richardson property because of the grant that Hall Richardson was built on back in the 60s.
Okay.
If we did use some of that property, we had to appropriate property somewhere else. It's sort of like wetlands. You got to mitigate property, replace that. So we felt like the best thing to do was to acquire property close to it that would start the revitalization of that community and then not interfere with the Hall Richardson property. Also, with that grant that Hall Richardson was built on, there's very few modifications we can do to it because of that. I mean, we can maintain it, and we did some changes on it to upgrade it, to make it handicap accessible and stuff like that, but there's not too much more modification we can do to it.
And when do you see this community center being built, or the Senior Citizen Center? When's it going to be built?
We're looking at, if you've been down there lately, we've completely cleared that property off. I mean, it's looked like it's never been there. And we're looking at starting construction pretty soon. The project should be finished somewhere around spring, permitting, weather permitting or whatever. And
are those county funds that are being used, or what's being used to build the Senior Citizen?
I acquired a $750,000 grant.
So this is a grant money
to build that building, right?
On the Senior Citizen.
And I think the county has to. I think it's a 10% the county has to put forth, but that 10% was used in kind because we used the county to tear down the building, to clean off the lot and everything. So that is sort of our percentage towards the grant. So really the county didn't spend any money. We just used resources we had to clear the property for the building.
$750,000 grant. That's good.
Yes, sir.
Build that what will the Senior Citizen Center look like, and what will it provide for the senior citizens of Wayne County?
It's going to be a very nice building. I mean, I wish I had a picture of it architecturally to show you right now, but it's going to house the senior citizens. It's going to be a place for them to congregate, to have a good time, to whatever, to eat. It's going to be a kitchen in there for them that we can provide the meals for them. Along with that, there's going to be a pretty good-sized room in there that they can do some kind of senior citizen activities.
Okay, we play shuffleboard and bingo?
Yes.
All right, good old senior citizen activities here.
and there's going to be other office spaces and rooms in there for public meetings.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's going to be community-wise. If you got a meeting, you can go down there and have a nice place to meet. Hall Richardson is not quite equipped for that. I mean, it's only one big space. Still, Hall Richardson will be available to be used for birthday parties or whatever you want to use it for, family reunions and all that kind of stuff. And if you've noticed lately, we've done a lot of work on Hall Richardson to bring it up to par. Somehow, everybody who decides on running against me pick Hall Richardson, and I don't know whether it's a group that wants to control it. And so that's their issue. I'm not going to let that happen. It belongs to everybody, the taxpayers, and nobody's going to control it. So,
and just joining us in the studios with us is longtime County Commissioner In District 4, James Boot Thomas, again, you are running for re-election. You have opposition. How's the campaign going for you? What's the issues when you're out
Campaign is going great. Campaign is going great. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm going house to house, knocking on doors, and I have a campaign committee. They're assisting me on doing that. And since the censors, and we had to reapportion and redraw our district lines because I lost 600 voters out of my district. My district is one of the districts in the county that's protected from the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So it's got to be at least 51% minority, and a lot of those have moved out into the county for the reason is they only pay one tax, county tax. They don't have to pay both taxes. So a lot of moved out in the county. So I've had to draw my district to kind of draw those back in. So now I'm taking in Doctortown Road and Anderson Drive. So what I really did was, ironically, when I redrew the district line, I drew my opponent into my district. He lives on Anderson Drive.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, you're running for re-election. Some of your fellow commissioners are not. Like I said, Herschel didn't run for re-election. Mike Roberts is leaving the board, so you're going to have a brand new board in January with new commissioners. So how do you see that playing out?
I think it's going to be okay. I mean, because people come to our meetings and they hear what we do. We're very transparent. I hear people saying things. I say, well, obviously they wasn't at our meeting if they saying that because it's clear. You know, say for instance, in September, our chairman Hires, he recommended that we pick the chief registrar in our October meeting. And he said, you know, we picked the chief registrar, and then he would have some say. He's not going to appoint, but whoever that is would have some say on the rest of the board. And whoever comes up, or whatever people that are recommended, we still have the final say. We have to vote on that. So some people say, well, he can't appoint. Well, no, that's not what we did. So that was recommended. So then in the last meeting, we did vote on the chief registrar. And you have some people say that what happened to the 5 or 3 members that were supposed to be presented and all that kind of stuff. Well, whenever I come to your show, I'm always going to speak facts. I'm not going to talk off my head. That's why I always prepared. Here's the OCGA code here, which is the official code of Georgia annotated. And it said that you can choose that board, and I'm going to let you all look at this. The Board of Registrars, Chief Registrar, are appointed one or two ways according to OCGA 21-2-212. The first one is that by grand jury submits 3 to 5 names. That's where that came up. 3 to 5 names to the Superior Court judge. Superior Court judge names the 3 board members and appoints 1 chief registrar. That's the first way. But it says here, or if within 90 days at the end of the term, April 1st, okay, the term actually ended, we've been trying to do this for a while, ended last year, April 1st, 21. Anyway, an appointment is not made in accordance with the subsection or code section. The governing authority of the county, which is Wayne County Board of Commissioners, shall appoint the county registrar.
Right.
So that's what we did. So we were. This is the law. We were within the law.
That's not the issue they had. The issue they had was Kevin McCreary and Kathy Keith both voted against the vote. It was a 3-2 vote to name Robbie Smart the new chief registrar.
Okay.
The issue they had was, and it was tabled time and time again. I mean, that thing was on the agenda for several months. And the reason is they say, this is what Kevin McCreary and Kathy Keith both in that seat said, that they were told they were going to be given a list of several names to be selected for the chief registrar, but they were only selected. They only gave, when the vote came, they only were given 1 name. So what happened to the list of potential names for the chief registrar position?
There was supposed to be a list of names, but
That's what I'm saying. That was the issue. Where was the list of names? Why did you only get 1 name when they voted?
If you just heard what I read, it's past the 90 days, then the Board of Commissioners can do that. And we tried to get a board together, and we submitted how we were going to do it and everything, and sent it to our legislators, and they rejected that because they didn't want to do it. Had opposition in Wayne County, so then it just lay dormant. So we got to do something. So then we decided to just pick a chief registrar, and then let them have some say-so in doing it, and that's what we did according to the Georgia Code. And how
why did y'all change chief registrars? Why did y'all make the decision to appoint a different person that was in there?
That's a personnel issue, which I don't want to discuss.
Okay, all right. That's questions that we get text in and stuff like that. Things of that sort.
We haven't. It's a personnel issue that.
Well, I said that was questioning. You had the right to change the registrars. The question again from Kathy Keith and Kevin McCrary was they were told time and time again they're going to get a list of several names to be decided between several people, but they only got one name.
That.
So the question is, where's that? Where was the list of names?
We talked about that. Then we decided that since we couldn't, getting that list together was going to be such a trying list or task, let's pick the registrar and then submit names, and then let the registrar give us information or his recommendation or whatever, and with the input of commissioners, and then we choose. We still going to pick the people.
Okay.
Now you said that. My opinion is I thought that somebody that maybe Kathy voted against that because she didn't think that the chief registrar should be a county employee. Well, here's the thing.
No, that's not why she voted no.
Really?
She stated in that chair, and when I talked to her on the phone, because I was shocked what she said. She voted with Kevin McCrary. I almost fell in my chair because she never votes with Kevin McCrary. So I called her and said, Kathy, why'd you vote against the motion? And she stated publicly that the reason she voted against the motion was she was told, like Kevin McCrary said, they were told they were going to get a list of names to be chosen for chief registrar, several names. And when the vote came, they were only given one name, Robbie Smart's name. So that's why they voted against it.
The list of names came up, and we talked about it.
Where's the list of names? No one saw a list of names.
I didn't saw it either.
That's what I'm saying. There was no list of names.
The list of names, they were supposed to.
That's why they voted against it.
I know,
they were told they were going to get a list,
names,
and they didn't get a list. They got one name.
Talking to our attorney, coming up with that list of names, we thought the fairest thing to do was, okay, let's do the chief registrar, and then have some say-so with the list of names. Because nobody was, I didn't get a list of names. So if they voted against it, that's fine. They had the right to do that. But according to the law, we were in the law doing what we did. So let's try to do it another way. We had to get this thing solved.
No one's questioning you. Like I said, you had the right to point the registrar. The reason they voted no was they were told from several months, as it was on the agenda for several months, they were going to get a list of several names to be chosen for chief registrar.
Right,
they got one name,
and
so they didn't think that.
Was there ever a list of names? Who would have made that list up?
I think they had some names suggested by the board of registrars. I don't know.
Okay, I was just wondering because we hear this list of names, and no one has seen it, no one knows anything about it.
Yeah, we didn't generate the list, so
okay,
that's the thing.
But again, we do have a new registrar. The timing seemed odd too because the early voting just started right then. So, like I said, you're not going to discuss why they changed because you're saying it's personnel, but that people ask that question why they changed at that time with the early voting starting right off the bat.
Well, the thing been vacant for a long time. Like I said, it's a personnel issue. I'm not going to talk on it.
Are you happy with the new registrar? From what I understand, things are going well.
I am. I'm happy. He's well qualified. He's been trained. He's been working with the voting machines and everything, so he knows what he's doing. He has a kind of personality that will be good for public relations. I don't see a problem with it.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. He's a county employee. He answers to the county administrator for the job. He's a full-time county employee. But in order for us to maybe get rid of him, we got to go through a judge because since we appoint him now as chief registrar, which the chief registrar is a part-time position that gets a stipend of $272 a month.
Yeah, he's still the technical guy, right? Mm-hmm. I said he's still your technical guy too, right? That's his full-time job, right?
So he answers to Ed as a county employee, but the chief registrar is another deal.
Okay.
Again, you just join us, Boo Thompson. I want to get to the issue that I've been trying. Like I said, we've had Jamie Hickox in here, we had Kevin McCrary in here. the new board's taking over in January. There's rumblings that the county administrator may not survive when the new board takes over. So I just want to get your thoughts on that, how you think he's doing, how do you think it's going to go in January. I said both Kevin McCreary and Jamie Hickox refused to answer that question, so I'm asking you the question, where do you stand with our county administrator?
Well, Ed Jeffers is doing a great job. When the board first considered picking a county administrator, I thought maybe we needed somebody with experience because I know that we were in a bad situation, and we were at the point where we almost would be in receivership, that Atlanta would send somebody down here to run the county for us, and whatever they demand, you would have to do, whatever the millage rate is or whatever. And I didn't think we needed to get into that. But I met with Ed. He convinced me that he could do the job, and he outlined how he wanted to go about doing it. So when he inherited all this, we had to levy the 5 mills. Since then, let me get back to my facts here. Since then,
people don't realize that you got papers all in front of you.
That's right.
You've got information on your phone, so you're looking at all stuff and trying to stay with the facts.
Yeah. Since then, we have cut the millage back of those 5 mills, 4.5 mills, like we said we was going to do. At the end of this year, Wayne County will be debt free. That includes GO bonds. That hasn't happened since I've been a commissioner. The overall millage rate right now for the county is 31.483, which is 2.238 reduction from 21. So the county is growing, the digest is growing. So we reduced about 4.5 mills from the previous 3 years. The current millage rate right now is $845,538. That's what a current mill is worth, which is the highest millage rate ever since I've been a commissioner. And over the 3 years, the millage rate has grown $129,000. So we're doing good. Ed has brought us out of this hole and got us where we is now, and along with the cooperation of other commissioners, the majority of the board, and that's why we are where we are now. He didn't create it; he inherited it. So I think he's done a fine job. Everybody's not going to agree with everything you do. You can't satisfy everybody. When I was a kid, I bit my tongue and I said something. My granddaddy told me. He said, "Well, what's wrong with you?" I said, "I bit my tongue." He said, "Well, that just shows you your tongue and teeth in your mouth, every now and then they fall out. What do you stop eating?" No. So you have disagreements, but you work out those disagreements and you keep going. And everybody's going to have their opinions, but we're in this thing for the betterment of Wayne County. This is my hometown. I was born and raised here. I've been to other places where I've seen things happen. One of the first things I did when I came back to take care of my mom after my dad died is that I couldn't believe that we were letting investors come in here creating subdivisions and leaving the roads for Wayne County citizens to pave. Any subdivision that's created the road should have been paved before we accept them. And that way everything's even. And so that was one of the ordinances I implemented.
Another issue I want to talk about, there's all this talk about the judicial complex. Where do you stand on that? Is it really going to cost $40 million to secure the courthouse?
There's a need for judicial complex. Look how long the courthouse has been there. What people need to understand, too, is that I think they were misled about we're going to add another tax. Well, the hospital was $40 million for 16 years. We are paying it off early. Like I said, at the end of the year, we'd be debt-free. If we do a judicial complex, that was, 15 years ago, $40 million? So they're saying the judicial complex is going to cost $50 million or whatever. That's going to take the place of the hospital tax. So no tax is going to go up. And if things keep growing like they're growing, we'll pay that off early. So
So you're in favor of the judicial complex?
Yes, I am.
Where's it going to be located? It's going to be located where the courthouse is now?
Located where the courthouse is. They're going to merge that courthouse with the rest of the complex. It's not going to be a different place. They're going to merge it. Did you see the drawings at the?
I think I did, but like I said,
It's going to be a beautiful site.
I just fell out when they said what the cost was going to be.
And there's so many courtrooms. There's so many courtrooms we have to maintain.
I just keep asking questions. There's no way to secure it for less than that. I mean, I don't understand. It just seems like a lot of money to secure a courthouse.
Well, you talk about for the next 100 years.
Right.
You don't want to build. I take Houston County, for instance. My two oldest daughters, they teach there. They're both assistant principals, but right around the corner from where my oldest daughter lived in Perry, that is where the Perry is the county seat. That is where the courthouse is. They built a big courthouse several years ago. I don't know whether it's been less than 10 or whatever, but visiting Houston County just last weekend, they're adding almost as much on to that courthouse now because of the need. It has outgrown that already. So, that's what we're looking at.
One other question I want to ask you. You said we're going to be debt free. I know we've come a long way, but they still have that tax anticipation note. That's still a debt. So when do you get rid of that?
The TANs.
Yeah, the TANs.
We're in a position now where we're hoping to not have to use that anymore. In the past, when we had all the debt, and of course you were here. A lot of stuff we had in the past was we had lawsuits. We were sued by the timber company. A lawsuit between Rainier, and fortunately we got past all that and decided that we all need to get along and cut those things up. That cost us a lot of money. Also, when Ed took over, we had to evaluate all the property, make sure all the property was evaluated equally. There was about $4 million of uncollected taxes on the book. So that is now coming up. Ms. Griffith is doing a great job. I think she's probably got one of the best collection rates in the state. She's about 95%. And so we're coming out of that hole. We're in good shape.
All right, we're just about out of time here, Boot. James Boot Thomas, County Commissioner, running for re-election. We always ask the person at the end of the talk with them is, when folks go into the voting booth for District 4. District 4. Why should they vote for the incumbent James Boot Thomas?
Well, first of all, and I come prepared. I'm the most experienced and qualified commissioner on the board. I've got experience. I've gone through all the training with ACCG. As a matter of fact, I'm an at-large representative. I go all across the state helping other commissioners with their problems. That's what I do. And I've received all of the leadership training. I've received the extensive training, all that kind of stuff. But the experience is what I do. And I've always tried to promote Wayne County. I position myself that we can get things in Wayne County because I'm the chairman of the Regional Commission. Here we are. We just got some things going with the senior citizen building because I'm the chairman. I know how to get that done. The William Billy E. Clanton Bridge on 169, that was done through TIA. I'm responsible for approving, making sure those projects are approved for city and county, being the chairman of the Regional Commission. And, the first TIA was passed. Wayne County didn't vote for it. But because the 17-county region voted for it, we got to participate in it. And the bridge was one of them and a lot of the paving. Within the last 6 years, I spent $1.5 million in my district just resurfacing. And so these things I'm able to do because of my experience and because I know how to get things done.
Okay. Now, I was wondering this morning when you came in if you were going to wear your cap with a big orange T on it, but no, you've got a black cap on with Wayne County on there.
Right.
But you did bring a tumbler in here. It's orange with a big T on it for Tennessee.
I was trying not to offend Bob,
You can't offend me because mine says National Champions 2022, see? Your tumbler
Bob's tumbler's red.
Well, mine says National Champions 1996, but anyway, that's going to change.
You better worry about Kentucky, Cyrus. What you better worry about? Don't be looking ahead to the dogs and get knocked off by those Wildcats.
Yeah.
Well, but we've had you here many times over the past, 25 years, and we appreciate you coming in and sharing with us this morning here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show.
And I appreciate coming. And here's the thing: we need to get along in Wayne County. This is the first time that I've been a commissioner that you've had this new culture of commissioners campaigning against other commissioners and all that kind of stuff. This is new culture. This is the first time I experienced that. I'm never going to campaign against anybody. I'm going to campaign for me. I'm never going to try to tell other voters who they need to pick. That's on them. I just think, we need to get away from that. When I was chairman, I did a.
He's looking at his notes right
That's
now.
right. That's right.
He's looking in his notes.
That's right. When I was chairman, I did another thing that.
You sure you're going to be able to find it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, as a chairman, my thing was that we all have disagreements, but in the events of disagreements, that we need to understand that we need to agree to disagree, but the majority of the board rules. And if we can't disagree, we need to agree on that, the majority of the board rules, and then we should all get along together. And if the next time an issue come up, then it's your time to try to get that issue in your favor. If I don't get my way, I'm not going to come on here on your show and try to tell everybody how to get my way. I'm not going to take my marbles and go home. I'm going to continue to do what I need to do.
Well, like Butch says, we just appreciate you coming in. Like I said, you've been a regular guest over the years. We've known you for a long time. But like I said, we try to encourage all political figures to come in the show because I think people want to hear what they have to say. And we're just trying to get the information out there. But you've always been a regular. I said you've never turned down an invitation. I appreciate it. Some people on the board won't come, but we appreciate you coming.
Here's the thing. Everything we do now is towards economic development. And if we bicker back and forth, industry not going to come here. That's the only thing we're going to be able to survive is get industry. We created all these jobs. We got close to $160 million investment with several different companies, and it's growing, the jobs are growing, we're getting people here. We need to continue that. And that's what I'm all about.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day. All right. Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM. And Jess, I wish I had more time to kid around with them about the Georgia-Tennessee game coming up, but we're out of time. That's really what I wanted to do, Boot. That's what I really wanted to talk about. Something important.
I live here, and I support Georgia, except when they play Tennessee.
Okay. But you do have your Wayne County cap on tonight. Go Jackets tonight up there taking on Southeast Bullock. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, by Murphy Builder Supply, Van's Barbecue, and also brought to you by First Southern Bank.